And there was a time when I was a senior official in the Bush administration. This is the father Bush. And being a minority and a woman and a senior, I was invited many times to give talks, speeches. And one of my favorite speeches was the best of both worlds. And I just feel so gratified that at a very young age, I learned gratitude. Now, I didn't know the word for gratitude. I was a child, 7. I didn't know the word for gratitude in English or Chinese, but I felt the gratitude in my heart. And it just always has been such a strength for me when I faced whatever challenges I faced in life. So in 1988, I was in Chicago. And at that point, I had been climbing the corporate ladder for 7 years. I got my MBA from Columbia in finance and business economics in 1981. So at that point, I was doing quite well in my career. I had been with several high-tech startups and a Fortune 500, but as we know, with high-tech startups, it's kind of risky. So this one was folding, and I thought, okay, what I'll do is I'll go to Wall Street. You know, with my MBA in finance, business economics, and with my experience that I had at that point in international business development, I would go get a great job on Wall Street. I was packing, getting ready. And a strange thing happened. I happened to hear President Bush give a talk, and he said the words, "A kinder, gentler nation." Now, just 3 words. And somehow, I have no explanation for this, it just sparked a memory of a long ago dream that I had forgotten. And that was a dream of a 17-year-old. It was my dream when I was in high school to go to college, major in international relations, and then take the State Department exam, and get a job in the State Department, work my way up, and eventually be a diplomat and work for the relationship between China and America. Now, that was my dream as a 17-year-old. But instead, friends, thankfully. But I know that the ones I told all thought it was crazy. Crazy idea. Oh my God, Diane, it's a career killer. What are you going to do? Go into government? But it's not, I just felt so passionate about this. I thought I really, this is something I wanted to do, and totally irrational. I had no idea how to go about this. None. I didn't know a single person in Washington, D.C., no contacts, no connections, no idea how to go about this. How much time do we have to tell you? It was, I have to say, it was sheer perseverance and determination. Really, that's what it came down to, that I was able to get this position. And when I look back on my career, and I had quite a few different positions, I have to say that probably the most fulfilling and rewarding to myself were the 3.5 years in Washington, D.C. I felt I was able to really make a contribution, however small, and make a contribution to helping the relationship between the United States and other countries. So I would say the essence of the dream did come true for me. The dream of a 17-year-old came true 30 years later. So you see, your dreams will not let go of you. And people close to you often, they love you, but they worry. And I remember when I was in my mom's kitchen and I said to her, Mom, I've given this a lot of thought, and what I really want to do is to move to China and study Chinese. And she looked at me and she said, in her loving, motherly voice, Dinah, at your age? Forget about it. Well, I was 58 at the time. And of course I went. And a year or two turned into a decade. And this was 2000 to 2010. And that decade, China transformed more than any other decade. I was able to witness this transformation. I mean, overnight, people went from no phones to cell phones. Everyone had a cell phone. The guy pedaling the tricycle, delivering water, had a cell phone. And they went from bicycles to cars, incredible traffic jams. And they went from living in hovels, what I would have to say, really, I'm not being unkind. I mean, this is university professors. Hovels to heaven. You know, wood floors, all the modern appliances. There's a phrase in Chinese, Tian Fan Di Fu, 4 characters. And what it translated literally, it means heaven and earth change places. This phrase is used to describe something that's unprecedented, that you just almost have no words to describe. But that's the phrase to describe the transformation that happened. And I'm just so blessed that I was there to witness this. The last dream, which I almost didn't realize. I mean, it was a dream that was with me for years and decades, was writing my own book. And I knew it was always there, but you know, life and busy and career and all my years in China, so it was on the back burner. But it was in danger of dying because I was scared. I was really scared. You know, the idea of writing a book. Never wrote a book. And I kept saying I didn't know what I wanted to write about. I think deep down I knew, and that scared me even more. But I have to tell you, that dream would not let me go. And I finally realized, because the Spirit knocked me on the head, that and I said to myself, I don't care if nobody reads it, if nobody else, you know, I have to write this book for myself. And so I did. And I came out in 2015, 3 years already, my gosh. All right. And so the book came out, and it's my memoir with a message. Daring to dream once again. It's never too late. I think I'd like to close, I think it's time for me to close, with one of my favorite quotes. And it's by the German poet Goethe. Whatever you can do, or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Remember, it's never too late.